Hey, back with David Chow from Automotive Press, this time back in the States with the all-new Crown. We didn't see this Crown Signia, now that they're calling it. They call it Estate over in Japan. We didn't see it over there. We saw all the other variants. We got our hands on them. This one was missing. Now we're back stateside, ready to devour it.
Sounds good. We're looking forward to it. One more collab video with Kirk.
All right, David, let's start with the front end design. Wow, it is incredible. Now, I'm gonna start at the top because we saw this design with that Crown sedan that we don't get in America.
Yes.
This strange portion here that is actually, if you put your finger in there, there's like a rubber sealer there.
Oh yeah, right. But it doesn't light up or anything here.
No, there's no daytime running light that comes around that we see in other Toyota
it just
products.
lights up here, goes all the way to the edge, and then but no light there, which is a bit odd, but it's a design anyway.
Yeah, and then the headlights actually down here, so they've separated the two, and I don't know if we've seen this sort of design in any Toyota or Lexus, really.
Actually, a lot of
Typically they're connected.
A lot of the Hyundai product have that.
Yeah, I
where
agree.
the headlights on top is not there, but it looks like a headlight, but the actual headlight is below the front section, like near the bumper. But you know what? This is again Lexus style, right? Like
it's very Lexus-like.
This like open and then close, this split thing. I mean, it looks good. You just begin to wonder at what point people are going to buy the Lexus versus
that's the
this
thing.
one.
You know, this car and like the Crown, the Crown sedan that we have, it's so close to the ES in pricing. This is going to be close, I'm guessing, to the NX and RX in pricing, and it's going to be it's going to be a tough sell, I think, maybe for the entry-level NX or RX, kind of like what the Grand Highlander does to the TX in some way.
I think so. No, I do admit when the Crown series was first introduced in Japan, and we got the crossover, and then we weren't sure if we were going to get the Sport, what they call the Crown Sport, which is a sportier version, or if we were going to get this Estate. I was assuming that this is not the version we're going to get. I was assuming it's the other one that we're going to get, but this one is actually bigger than the Crown Sport, and that's probably why we end up with this one. And I'm glad this one actually looks better, but I do also like the Crown Sport in Japan. That one also looks great too.
It looks great. You know, this vehicle its wheelbase is more like the RX wheelbase. It's like 112.2 inches. But this vehicle's actually replacing our beloved Venza over there in the United States market. And this is a much bigger vehicle.
It is a much bigger car.
This is almost like a next generation Highlander with 2 rows of seats.
It is. Yeah, because they're going to cancel the Venza after 2024 model year. So we still have one more year if you really like the Venza, which I think is great. And then I think is the regular Highlander, is that going to carry on? Or we don't know yet.
We haven't heard official news. I'm hearing there might be a new vehicle coming to the Indiana plant.
Right.
And is that going to be a new Highlander? Is this going to be something replacing the Highlander? Is it going to be an electric? Who knows?
Right.
It's hard to say.
Okay, let me do that quick outside quality check. We know this is a pre-production or even a prototype model. But this one is built in Japan at the Tsutsumi plant. So Tsutsumi plant, they produce the normal Crown is also produced over there, the crossover I should say. So, but look at this. This quality is less than 3. This is like 2.9 millimeter.
It's completely
perfect
smooth.
alignment. Edges line up perfectly as well. Little bit off here, but that's again prototype thing, so I can forgive that. This looks really good. Little bit off. This size a little bit higher than that side. But once again, for a prototype, darn good. And this kind of stamping is really hard to do. Like almost like a shelf. Yeah, that's not easy to do in the stamping shop. But looks really good here too. Oh, actually, it's a little bit off here, the gap here. But this is once again quite a bit of early prototype. But paint job looks good. Is this
Storm
the new
Cloud?
Color? Storm Cloud? Okay.
Yeah, it
Same
debuted
on
the Grand Highlander,
right? Yeah, I love this color. It looks great. Kind of a mixture of a blue and gray, but medium color, not dark, not light.
Massive 21-inch wheels. There are just 2 trim levels, XLE and Limited. There's no Platinum like we see on the Crown, and therefore there's also 1 powertrain. It's all-wheel drive only, hybrid, around 243 horsepower. So yeah, Toyota's putting that in pretty much all of their K platform products nowadays. And it's kind of their main powertrain.
Main powertrain now, yeah. And then in Canada, we don't get, we only have the Limited. in Canada.
You just get one trim level for this in Canada?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just the fact that they don't sell as many. But let's see if we can kind of walk inside before the other people begin to take over. If we can just, sorry, excuse me, sir. Is it okay? We're just filming. Okay, so we're gonna go inside. Kirk is gonna go to the other side, and let's check out the interior. Hopefully you can move the seat back a little bit there, Kirk. Otherwise you can't.
No electronics.
Okay, so you might not be able to squeeze in, but I mean it's pretty well the same as the normal Crown.
It looks identical.
Looks
to me as the
identical.
normal
Same
Crown.
curvature here, which we're seeing in the Camry now.
Gold
this
accents.
design, yeah, gold bronze accent. Same design. Everything is turned off. Obviously, 12.3 inches, 12.3 inches here. I mean, you know, this is maybe one complaint about the Crown series is that nothing wrong with the interior, but it's too business-like and not enough luxury. You look at Genesis, what they're doing with their interior, how beautiful the interior is. I'm really wondering, and obviously Genesis is a luxury brand, and this is not Lexus.
Yeah, I can't move. I can't move back.
You can't really
but this is the issue I've had with the normal Crown that we already have. Is that the headroom is just too
very
tight.
Limited, yeah.
Too tight for me. And this seat is not. I think this seat's actually all the way down.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
I see.
It's really close. It's tight for me. I mean, can't move it back. But
yeah, so I think there's nothing wrong with the interior, but I think it doesn't look like Crown. It doesn't look like a flagship interior. That's my biggest complaint.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. They can't go too much into Lexus, but at the same time, the Lexus interiors are nowhere what they used to be. There's no wood.
Too.
Yeah. So it's kind of their just recent design language. It is soft touch. Everything looks nice. Mm-hmm. It's just where's that quilting? Where's that high level
where's
stitching?
Where's the Crown feel?
Yeah.
I do like this new. I saw this in the other Crown too. I like the fact that you can just drop your phone in there and then start to charge right away, as opposed to fiddling with a flat surface. So I like that.
It saves space.
Yeah, saves space too. And you got this thing divider. I think they took the divider
adjustable
out,
cup holder. USBs, dual 12-inch screens.
It looks okay with this two color, but when it's all black, it's so monotone, right?
Yeah, and we only get, at least in the United States, we get two interior color options. Is this, which is called the saddle tan, which is kind of like a milk chocolate.
Okay.
And then there's just black.
Yeah, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the rear seat, see if we can fit into there, and see if the roominess is acceptable. So I'm about at the right spot on the front. So if I go to the back, actually, you know what? It's roomy than I thought. It's actually pretty good.
I have much better headroom back here too. It's not a lot. Okay. Well, it's not a lot, but I feel like I have more room. Maybe it's because I have the sunroof that's open above me.
Yeah, this helps a little bit.
Huge roof.
But this shade is open, right? So that gives us a little bit more space. But it's also comfortable. Like the seat is a little bit reclined right now.
Yeah.
And so actually, in terms of being able to fit North American sized people, as opposed to Japanese sized people, this is really good design. Lots of leg room, good toe room. Third passenger looks like it'll be quite comfortable here as well. And like Kirk said, headroom is good. Pretty comfortable, I think. I'm kind of curious what the Macan, not the Porsche Macan, but the Porsche Macan style version, which is Crown Sport. I wonder what that rear seat might be like. We never had a chance to sit in the back seat of that one. Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh yeah, we did. It was smaller, right?
It was smaller than this, but not by much. I was actually impressed. And they had cutouts on the roof. It had no glass roof in it.
That's true. We did sit in Japan.
Since it didn't have a glass roof, you had more room for your head in there. And so I think that's, the cargo space is really what people are going to be sold on this.
Right.
Because these seats do fold flat. Mm-hmm. And they say 6.5
plywood?
6.5 foot from back to front.
Okay. Let's take a look at the trunk then. I don't know if we can open it though.
Yeah, well, I think
let's flip you guys over here.
It might be open. Watch your step here.
It looks kind of open.
Yeah, here we go.
Good.
Lift it up. There's no electronics going on.
Electric.
But look at that.
The power's off. But
this is a ton of cargo space.
That is really good.
And check this out. You just hit the lever and it automatically folds over.
Let me try this side too.
I want to show you something. This is something I learned a second ago.
What is that little thing?
So these fold forward so you can extend
the... Oh, cool.
You can extend the floor, but
cool. Okay, this seat has to move forward, but
right.
I see. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
What is this thing here, though? Is that?
I don't know.
I don't know what that thing is. Maybe it opens and you can. Maybe there's some kind of a connection point behind that, but
yeah.
Actually, I'm not sure what that is.
I don't know.
Something. It's going to open up somehow.
Yeah.
But either way, this is a great idea. Why didn't they think of that before? But do you have the number? Do you remember the number for cargo space by any chance?
I don't know if we have cubic feet of cargo space. They just said 6.5 feet from here, all the way to the back of the front seats.
Okay, super. Actually, this is really good.
I don't think, with 21-inch wheels, I don't think there's a spare tire.
No, there's no spare tire, I don't think. But good to see like a low lift here.
Yeah.
And flat all the way.
Aluminum right
slanted,
here.
but pretty flat. And yeah, this is like a very compelling
road trip
version, right? For people who wants to carry lots of cargo, who want a comfortable seat. This is not a 3-row, so you have to move to a Grand Highlander or Highlander for that matter. Yeah, Highlander still have three seats as well.
It does, yep, or Sienna.
But it looks good. Like, where's the normal Crown? Where's the normal Crown?
The normal Crown's hidden behind the wall over there, so we can't see it from here.
We won't go there right now, but this is way better in terms of packaging, in terms of features, spacing. If you're going to buy a Crown, this is the one to get, right?
I think people are going to go crazy for this, and the Toyota and Lexus
I love
buyers.
the styling.
The styling's a home run. It's gorgeous. It's a lifted wagon. They called it an SUV.
But it's a lifted wagon.
Let's be real. It's a lifted. They call it an estate in Japan.
Yeah, exactly. So in Japan, it is. They call it station wagon openly in the brochure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is the kind of cars that Europeans also love, right? You know, the estate, BMW, Audis.
Yeah,
they all have this slightly lifted wagon.
Because it's functional, they drive great. Yeah. You're able to get that cargo capacity without any compromise in handling.
Right.
And in a situation like this, they're just raising it. So we know Volvo does that with their cross-country models. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. We know Subaru is wildly successful with their Outback. This is Toyota's hybrid upscale version of a Subaru Outback, and the market's going to salivate over it.
What do you think of the name Signia, by the way?
I'm not as weirded out by it as we were with a Fila when we were in Japan.
A Fila with Sony and Honda, that's so weird.
But, this being also another made-up word, Signia. Yeah, everyone wants to call it Insignia.
Yeah, they say it's a shortened version of Insignia. So why didn't they just call it Insignia then?
Maybe trademark stuff. Who knows?
Maybe. I don't know. They probably could have just called it Crown Estate. That would have been a cool name to me, but estate somehow doesn't sound right, I think, in the US.
When I hear estate, I think luxury, though. Yeah, I think something that's worth a lot.
Perhaps, so the name surprised me a little bit. There's other fellow YouTubers.
Eric.
In the middle of a video?
How's it going? Yeah, we're filming. You can say hi.
Hi.
What's your channel, Eric?
It's Rev Match TV, and this Crown Signia looks amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I know. We can't stop saying how great it looks, and Toyota's going to do it. The problem is they won't be able to make enough from it. You know, the volume's going to be low.
Perhaps say hi to you as well.
You know what I love about it is the fact that this has a design that reminds me a little bit of the Porsche Purosang, and that's because we have this super long roof that's kind of sloping down a little bit in the back, and it sort of gives me
the Ferrari one. You mean?
The vibe of a shooting brake, even though the hood isn't quite long enough. But I get the shooting brake vibe, and I love the design of this. I think it's going to be a huge
because in Japan, this is actually called the Crown Estate, and they call it station wagon in Japan.
Right.
So it was designed to be a station wagon, and here they're calling it crossover.
Yeah, you know, when I drove the Crown, my big point was, is it a crossover? Is it a sedan? And people were arguing. I thought it was more of a sedan, but
it is a sedan with a trunk.
It's a lifted sedan. I call this a lifted station wagon. Yeah.
So it's a cool design. But good to see you as
well.
Nice
to see you. Yeah.
Check out Eric's channel, Red Match TV, James' channel, Automotive Press.
We're all together. All of us.
That's right. Yeah, just one of me. So thanks, guys. Closing it out with the Crown Signia. It is, it looks way better in person than even, it looks good in images, but seeing it in person has a lot of presence, a lot of curb appeal.
The big question is, would you buy this versus Lexus RX?
Yes, I'd buy it over a Lexus RX, NX. I'd buy it over a Highlander. This is the Toyota crossover to get. I mean, my heart goes out for the Venza. I adore the Venza.
I love that Venza. This is like such a gem. People just never appreciate it. This is like one of the best hidden gem, but the name was wrong. Venza means toilet seat in Japanese.
They should just call it the Harrier.
Yeah,
the Harrier.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
Yeah.
But just the last question, the engine, the powertrain on this one, right?
2.5 liter hybrid, 243 horsepower.
Yeah. But no hybrid max. We're not getting the hybrid
correct.
max.
No hybrid max. Also, no plug-in hybrid.
No plug-in hybrid.
This is slated for plug-in hybrid. In the press materials in Japan, it's 100% coming to the Japanese market.
Yeah. But hybrid, did they offer the hybrid max in Japan? I don't.
Not on this.
Not on this one.
Plug-in hybrid, yes. Just like on the Venza, they offer plug-in hybrid there, but we'll get it. We'll get it. You know,
we'll eventually get it, probably.
You know, David. Here's a wild theory. What if this replaces Highlander at the Indiana plant,
right?
So we can get that production volume, and North Carolina battery plant coming online in 2025. Yeah. We're able to get that plug-in hybrid in mass volume.
Very possible, very
possible. That's just a pipe dream, but that's what we do.
I have a feeling that they want to keep the Crown name being produced in Japan. That's my feeling. Tsutsumi plant, it's a good plant, although it's not a upscale plant like a Tahara plant. It's not a Lexus plant, but Tsutsumi plant produces, like my RAV4 Prime that my wife has is built in Tsutsumi plant.
I gotcha.
So it's a really good factory. I've been there about 5 times, maybe 5-6 times. It's an older plant, but they got really good Takumi people there also.
Absolutely. Well, probably pretty much at all their plants.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we're gonna sign off for now. Yep. So goodbye to Kirk's friends. Goodbye to my friends.
Goodbye to David's friends.
And then we'll stay in touch.
Bye, guys. Peace.